I'm shocked. I've been going through the internet, Googling what people have put out there content-wise for building muscle at home. I got a lot of home workouts, which are great, but they didn't tell me what I wanted to know. And I got a lot of eat more food and eat more protein, but no one breaking down kind of the science or the rules that you need to follow in order to build muscle at home.
So that is what we're going to do right now.
So the main thing we have when we work out in the gym is we have kilograms, we have weight or pounds to our disposal. So we can use them as our stimulus or our progressive overload. Your body will adjust to what you give it. It's like evolution, but on a really cute and sped up kind of time.
You've been watching a little bit of David Attenborough.
I've actually been listening to I was listening to Sapiens last night.
It's good.
But basically what happens is if you bench press loads, your body becomes stronger, it becomes more adapted to that. If you run loads, you become fitter, you become better at running. But what we have to do is we have to keep pushing the body further than it's been before. In the gym is great. We have weight and we have machines that let us do that. At home, we don't have the same rules we have to follow.
So as JC touched upon, resistance in the gym is our biggest friend for progressive overload. At home, we need to start looking a little bit deeper because we might be able to start with our backpack and fill it full of books, those ancient things that we call books nowadays. But after a while, it's just going to become a pain in the backside when you're trying to do a back squat with a full suitcase full of books because you're going to keep needing to add resistance. Yeah. So what else can we do? Number one thing that we can work on, which is not going to cost you a penny, is time under tension. So more specifically, when we're looking at time under tension, we are looking at the lowering phase, the eccentric phase of the movement. JC, give me a normal push-up in the air.
Oh, I start here, I don't start here.
He's banging out push-ups like you wouldn't believe. And if we want to create more stress, more stimulus on that muscle group, as we drop down towards the floor or towards Leon, we're going to do this a lot slower. It's going to create more stress, more work on the muscle group. And we know what we're trying to create in the gym. We're not building muscle in the gym. We're starting to create tiny little microfiber tears, break the muscle down, because then when we're out of the gym, that's when we say all the magic happens. We're going to eat, we're going to sleep, we're going to recover, we're going to come back stronger, and the guns are going to grow.
Awesome! So Leon touched on time under tension, specifically that eccentric phase of a movement where the muscles are under a bunch of tension. We can create damage, go away, eat, drink, sleep, come back stronger, bigger, and more buff. The next thing we need to look at is our volume. So volume is the total amount of work done in a session, in a week, in a month, in a year. It doesn't really matter. Let's take an example of bench press in the gym. We do 5 sets of 5 bench press at 100 kilos. That might be your absolute limit. To push yourself to your absolute limit at home, it might be looking more like 5 sets of 50 push-ups. It's going to be different to each person and where their levels are, but one thing remains constant. We must progressively overload the muscles. For our body to adapt, we must push it to a position it's either not been before or it's extremely uncomfortable. So be aware even that your push-ups or your squats, you might be doing a lot more reps.
So we've looked at time under tension, we've looked at volume, now we're going to look at biomechanics and lever lengths. This is a very good exploration phase when it comes to training at home. You get to understand what your body's good at, what it's terrible at, and what it really enjoys. So, classic example again, if you're in the gym doing squats and you're doing bench press, you do not have to change that movement to keep progressively overloading. You just add weight when it gets easy. At home, we know that we've got to change the goalposts a little bit. So say, for instance, you're doing your push-up, JC. It's a normal push-up. He's been loading it eccentrically for a little while, and it's like, all right, okay, so I'm having to spend about 6 weeks in the gym getting my triceps to work because I've been doing eccentric loading for so long. What do I do next? Just bring your hands in a little bit more. You're going to recruit a little bit more of your triceps. You're doing the same kind of movement, but you're changing the stimulus. And then once that gets easier again, you can take your hands even lower. Load the shoulders a little bit more. You're doing the same kind of movement, but you're adding work.
It's tough, that one.
It looked really
That was
hard.
tough, that one.
And it's exactly the same with squats. You can turn around, instead of just doing squats, you can do lunges. You're going to load the muscles and distribute weight differently. If you're an absolute lunatic circus freak, you can even do pistols if you want to. All we're doing is creating new stresses.
Absolutely. So you can see the same thing applies in the gym as at home, and that's progressive overload, pushing yourself further than you've been before. Just the way we achieve that progressive overload differs a little bit because we don't have the kilos. We have to use other methods. We have to use time and attention. We have to consider our total volume that we do in a workout. We have to consider the way that we do our actual moves, our biomechanics. But to say you can't build muscle at home, is madness. You only have to look at the calisthenics guys and girls. They look great, but what are they doing? They're doing a ton of volume. They're doing pull-ups, muscle-ups, all that kind of stuff till the cows come home. They're doing planches. They're doing a bunch of isometric holds, which is time under tension. You're holding yourself in under a lot of tension, causing damage to the muscles. All of this, as always, comes in conjunction with eating enough calories, which we know we don't have to go in that today. What we want to do is give you the basic things that you need to consider when doing your home workouts. Simply, if you can do 10 push-ups at the moment, I want you to do 5 push-ups now, but I want you to take 5 seconds to come to the bottom of each rep and tell me how many you hit. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a massive thumbs up. That really helps us out. Leave any questions you have below or any tips you have for other people. We can jump in, start a conversation going. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That will let you know when our new videos come out. And we will see you in the next one.
See you later.
Bye, guys.